Welcome back to Yankee Chronicle. I'm your host, Abby Peel, coming to you from MainStreet BookEnds right here in Warner. We like to check in with Warner every so often because there's a lot happening here. And I'm now joined by Nancy Ladd, who's the library director at the Pillsbury Public Library right here in Warner. And everyone should go check it out. And it's such a beautiful building.
Nice.
Yeah, what a special place you get to work. Nice to meet you, and thank you for joining me.
Yeah.
Talk about the world of library and being a librarian. I mean, so much of it we're used to a tangible book or video or something, but a lot of it's shifting to online.
A lot of services that we used to offer, like the books and the recorded books, have shifted to online, but people don't realize how busy we are in the building. There's still a lot of people who really want the physical item. So those are the people we see borrowing items from the library rather than online, which there's lots of. But you come in any day, you might see people printing things from their phones because we can do Wi-Fi printing now.
Ooh, exciting.
They might be actually using our computers because they don't have a computer. And there's a surprising number of people who do not have computers. And there's the children's programs. So people come in and hang out and come to story time, get kids, read to their kids, or they might just meet up there to get out of the house and meet up with other families. And we have people who come in to do tutoring.
Oh,
so they
great.
meet there as a mutual convenient space to tutor. They might be scanning something, and emailing it to people.
So a library is still the traditional sense of everything that you need. You can get books and things like that, but you're seeing a huge transition into the technology world too.
Well, yes, over the last 20 years, it's been a huge change since the internet started. Yeah.
Absolutely. And what are some of the less common things that people might not realize that you offer?
Well, one thing we have here in Warner that's pretty unusual, we used an ARPA grant to get it through the Institute for Museum and Library Services, which is, we call it a privacy booth. We have 2 of them.
No way.
So people, they modify the sound. So people can have a private conversation either on the phone or on their computer using Zoom and all those other things, or phone and computer if they're trying to figure something out. They can do telehealth, they can do interviews, tutoring, all kinds of things. And it's a little bit more private because it muffles the sound. So
and do you reserve the space?
Mostly it doesn't need to be reserved, but a few people who have an important meeting at a certain time will call ahead and reserve it. We have 2, so sometimes 2 are in use, but usually 1 or not.
And that was made possible by a grant?
We got an ARPA grant for that.
What a great, and that's a unique thing. Do you hear of other libraries that have that?
No, it was something we'd always wanted to have because it's a pretty open space in our library, so we wanted a private space.
Yes.
And so when I knew that we could get a large grant, I said, let me see what there is. And
amazing. And did the grant come and install it, or did you handle the work yourself?
We ordered it, and the people that supply them
installed them,
and brought them in, and they just rolled them into the elevator and upstairs.
As someone who works a lot from the road, I appreciate that, because sometimes it is. I took a call recently that I'm like, oh, this isn't in such a great place, but I had to do it, and that would be such a good thing to know. Okay, I love that. Oh, what a great addition. That's a great thing of what is a little unexpected thing that you'll find at the Pillsbury Library. And talk about the recent upgrade in the HVAC system. I mean, we're going into a little bit of housekeeping here, but something that probably had to happen.
Well, just over a year ago, since the addition to the library was 1993, our old system was aging and needing more repairs.
Yes, almost as old as me.
So we thought, well, let's try something more energy efficient. So these new air-sourced heat exchange units that people are putting in now, we often call them mini splits. So we particularly needed it for cooling with the hotter summers that we're usually getting.
Not
I know.
So much last year, but I know we needed heat last year.
It's just a way of keeping it more comfortable in a much more energy efficient way. So we're now really designated as a cooling center option for people in the hot weather, and people do that. If people who don't have air conditioning at home come in during the summer when it's hot, or the fall when it was hot.
Yes, I know.
and just to sit around and read and be cool or do projects.
Amazing. So you really encourage people of Warner and the area to come and just use the library for all the services that you offer.
Absolutely.
Come and spend time there.
Yes, absolutely.
Amazing. How long have you been library director?
Since 1985, so do the math.
Oh my goodness, that is a long time.
Long time.
And you've seen a lot of transitions.
Oh yes, I like change. So
okay, good. There's probably been a few since 1985.
Something new, yes.
Amazing. Nancy, if people want more information about the library, about some of the events you mentioned earlier on, what's the best way people to find out that information?
Well, we do have a website, which we're about to launch a new one in a month or two, but right now it's warner.lib.nh.us.
Okay.
And we do have a newsletter, which we use to let people know. And on that site, you can sign up for the newsletter. We've got over 1,000 community members who have signed up, and they count on it for their news. It's every week. And it's Warner News.
Okay. But not just library news.
We sometimes have room to slip in a little bit about what we do in the library.
Like a new HVAC system.
Because Warner's a very active town.
Yes. There's one thing that we prove every year when we come to Main Street Bookends around this time is there's so much happening in Warner. And people need to come and check it out because I learn something every time that I come here. Like the library director has been here since 1985. That is quite impressive. Nancy, really nice to meet you. Thank you for all the work that you do at the library. And thanks for giving us a little rundown.
Thanks for giving us the chance.
Thank you. Thank you, Nancy, and to Pillsbury Library for all you do for this community. Get on their town events email list to keep up with almost everything happening around Warner. When we return, the Kearsarge Mountain Road, home of the India Museum, will be our focus. But first, these words from another local business that has yours and our show's future in hand.
This program is supported by Main Street BookEnds of Warner for books, toys, games, cards, gifts, and a gallery of local art. Main Street BookEnds of Warner.